Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here to talk about episode 19 of Fox's epic retelling of the Batman mythology, entitled Beasts of Prey, guest starring Peter Petrelli as Peter Petrelli. So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
Yes. How are you doing, BlueDragonFive? How are you this evening?
I'm well.
Have you been to any shooting galleries lately?
None that I can recall.
All right. In all seriousness, BlueDragonFive, it's good to be back, right? We got the black and white. I got the bullet jacket. It's been a few weeks. We wrapped up Better Call Saul, and now, conveniently enough, we are going to wrap up with the last 4 episodes of Gotham, starting with this episode, Beasts of Prey. Sorry for the Peter Petrelli joke, but trust me, I'm going to make 1 million of them this episode, so might as well just get it out early. So what do you think of this one, BlueDragonFive?
I thought this one was solid. It was more fillery than I was kind of hoping for, but it was solid.
Well, we'll see what happens because, it's definitely part 1, So, really, it is just all kind of set up. To me, I kind of felt like there were a few of the show's best moments kind of sprinkled here and there.
Yeah, there were good moments in this, yeah.
I definitely like the end result of the storyline with Selina and Bruce. I'm sure you did too. We'll talk about that. I thought that was a big moment for the series. Overall, there was some writing issues I had with this episode.
Yeah.
Specifically with the flashback format. I went crazy OCD with the way they did their flashbacks.
Well, we'll see. I might have some things to say about that. Well, yeah. Again, the episode I thought was solid, though. Whereas I think it was you're right, it is like kind of the opening to a first act.
Yeah, I'm not going to call it bad. It's certainly not a bad episode. I'd say it's right in the middle, but it's, there was some silly stuff here.
It's a Charlie Brown treatment episode.
Right.
I don't think it's bad at all. It just needs a little love.
Oh God. All right, so you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we see Fish Mooney kind of eyeballing with her multicolored peepers.
No pun intended.
eyeballing the exterior of the little, I want to call it a hospice, but it's not a hospice. Like the little kind of Dollmaker's private island facility. Eyeballing out the window, a helicopter and a boat off the island, which she is not. She knows she is not permitted to leave because that's Dollmaker's insurance that people don't leave the place. It's on an island. But still, there are means of conveyance which signal, hey, there's an escape route. So we see she's running the place smoothly. She's walking around her little kind of her spa gear with a little turban she's wearing. She's walking around saying, "Oh, hello, dear." She's running like she's greeting the patient, saying, "How are you, sir? We'll have everything ready to run smoothly for you." And points like you can tell she's really kind of taking like the not manager, but like direct underling of the Dollmaker seriously.
Sure.
Keeping up a good front. Because
she's just a really good actress here.
Yeah, because we know she's in prison, which isn't going to set right with Fish, because she can't have someone over her head for long, because she wants to kill people with her bare hands and her teeth. So again, but however, we still don't know how her loyalties exactly lie with the prisoners versus Dollmaker here, because she wants to stay alive and not end up like Jeffrey Combs in the previous episode.
Oh, flashbacks. Oh.
Yeah, she does not want that to happen. So we see she breaks the lock, really obviously. She's testing the waters here for an overall plot. She walks out there and she meets a guy who I believe his nickname is the Catcher. Am I right?
Yeah, he might be nicknamed the Catcher in this, but in all my notes, he's Muldoon. He is Muldoon from Jurassic Park. I don't know why. That's just what he reminds me of. So I just went with that.
Anyway, so the Catcher, just in a nutshell.
That guy.
So in a nutshell, the Catcher just kind of issues kind of a warning to her because she plays it off as, "Oh, I didn't know I wasn't allowed outside." She's playing it all innocent, and obviously she's lying, obviously. But basically, the guy blatantly says, "Well, I lived to catch any people trying to flee here, and it's not really pretty. So I'm basically warning you, don't exit here again." Yeah. Essentially, don't leave, and you're most likely going to die.
Yeah, Fish is going to have like a lot of these like really good sort of like quote unquote acting moments where it's like you're not really sure like how much of it is sincere, how much of it is bullshit. This, I mean, of course, this moment is definitely bullshit, but there's a lot of interesting Fish dynamics going on this episode. And I must say, like, you know, if we were doing death thoughts, it's not looking good for her by the end. But I think it's going to be kind of a shame losing her because I think she's kind of a spark of original energy in this show. But okay, so anyways, let's see. We have Bruce, and he's meeting with Gordon, and you know, congratulating him about a job well done, kind of taking Loeb down a peg in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of asks what the president of the police unit is, and Gordon's like, "Well, it depends on the policeman." Alfred's getting better. Now, there's this really weird shot I wanted to ask you about. The shot of the water glasses where he's putting the water glasses on the coasters. For some reason, it loomed really ominously on that. Did you get any sort of read on that?
I didn't get like an honest read on what I got was that it was just like him kind of filling the void of Alfred, which I thought was kind of nice. Like, yeah, he's doing like little things Alfred does, like putting coasters under the drinks and stuff. That's nice.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, for some reason, when I saw the camera kind of loom, I was like, oh god, does that mean something?
However, you may be a little right here, because it might be, I'm just like on the rewatch maybe picking this up, that the focus might be on that shot because he's putting the coaster underneath there. Maybe Gordon's like picking up that, oh yeah, he's nervous about me showing up here, which means he's hiding that, which confirms my belief here. Otherwise, why be so attentive to detail like this? Maybe it's Gordon uberly reading the kid. It's up to interpretation.
Okay, I like that. I like that interpretation. So yeah, anyways, yeah, Gordon basically calls him out. Now you're gonna have to kind of refresh my memory on what exactly was Gordon Bruce's encounter on the last episode, because it's been a while for me.
Okay, well, last time so directly after Alfred was stabbed, they're in the hospital room, and Alfred like kind of stopped Bruce before he's about to just kind of be kind of full forth with Gordon with the details of, oh yeah, his name was Reggie Payne, and he stabbed Alfred, and like Alfred just kind of waved him off. No, I didn't say anything, because Alfred wants to track the guy down himself, because there might be some residual feelings of friendship, or he's like kind of like a person, like, yeah, I handled this guy, he stabbed me, man, I get to handle this guy.
Okay, so like yeah, it's basically Alfred that shuts down Gordon and not so much Bruce, right?
Well, yeah, this through Bruce, though, he like kind of waved off to Bruce, like kind of like, no. That sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And Gordon being the smart, awesome guy that he is, kind of just love it, because Gordon's big gift in the series, just in general, is he can read people really well.
Oh yeah,
he knows that Bruce is lying, and now that the stuff, I like this. So Gordon hasn't forgotten about this, because he is concerned about Bruce, because obviously Alfred getting stabbed is ominous, especially for Bruce Wayne. And I like how, I guess we'll probably discuss this more towards the end of the series. But just kind of the overall arc here is he hasn't really forgotten about the Wayne murder case. He's just been distracted with a lot of stuff, but it's always in the back of his mind, and this is obviously a big step in relation to that case. Bruce poking his nose around things, getting in trouble for it. So he's following up with Bruce here, as he probably picked up earlier. He's lying about something. Well, now that I'm calmed down the whole Loeb situation with Bullock, I'm going to go there and get some answers, and that's what he's doing.
Okay. So
why did you lie? And then Jim puts it together throughout the conversation, and he wants to go. As Bruce is trying to deny it, saying, "Oh yeah, the sandwiches isn't cut right."
Right.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Gordon saying, as he's putting it together, saying he wants to go out on his own to find it. Listen, Bruce, this isn't your fight. This isn't either of your fights. Then Bruce has this moment of acknowledgement, saying, "I understand."
Mm-hmm.
Good moment.
Okay, so next up we have kind of the beginning of a really interesting sort of conspiracy here. I really like the way that they play this. I thought it was a nice twist. So we see this young man, I believe his name's Glenn Moore, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think it's just Len Moore.
Oh, Len. Okay, Len. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Officer Len Moore meeting Gordon here. He's basically he's bringing up this Fairchild case, saying, "Well, I'm bringing it to you because this Brace Fairchild case, I believe the name is. He's a young, idealistic officer. The idea is he's saying, because he's a young guy, because he's kind of fresh. Well, if we learn anything from Breaking Bad, kind of the fresh guys coming in might be the cleanest. Again, Mike."
God.
So they're coming. He's coming into this, and the idea is he's seeing. He looks up to Gordon and says, "Well, look, if this detectives, cleaning things up here. You know, maybe we can come to him with these old cases to have someone who's going to get things done around here. And he's running for the police presidency of some kind, and maybe he can do some change. We can do some good here with this Fairchild case. No one's looking into.
Now, what I like about this direction is that, like, at first, I'm just like, yeah, Jim, you know, inspiring all the young cops, you know, like, right on. You're really making a difference.
Yeah, I had the same
which makes the whole reveal, you know, makes the whole reveal down the road kind of crushing.
Yeah, you know me, I had my Gordon Pride moment of, yeah, he's doing it, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Was that a big thing in the comic book, like him kind of inspiring the younger officers?
Well, I mean, it's always just been with the comics and the movies too. If you like, you know, see Gordon's relationship with the younger cops, like in The Dark Knight, so there's a bit like respect between him and Officer Berg, and obviously
that's true.
And Dark Knight Rises, you obviously have the thing with John Blake. So I mean, you know, there's always a bit of respect between the younger officers and Gordon.
Okay. So yeah, next scene we have he walks into the forensics lab, and Tompkins is there, and he's like she's ready to go out to dinner, but he kind of presents him with the homicide case, and she's like, "Oh, let's investigate it."
You had me at homicide.
Like, I thought you were hungry. You had me at homicide. Oh God. Okay, so the last known person to have talked to Grace was her mother, who she called at a bar the night before she went missing. And Tompkins, she lives in the South Village, just like Grace does, and she brings up the concept of something I found very interesting, and also kind of, you know, does a good job of establishing the show is kind of like ambiguous with its time, which is a speakeasy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let me ask you, did they have speakeasies in Gotham in the comic books?
Well, I mean, they never really called them speakeasies, just, well, they were never set that close to the, well, you know, obviously not in modern comics, but I'm sure maybe in the 30s like 30s and early 40s, because there might have been a few references to speakeasies.
I was just wondering if that was like maybe something that was specifically like Gotham City related, or so you think maybe they're just doing it here as like kind of a, you know, out of time sort of thing?
Well, kind of. I think they're just kind of using some kind of time ambiguous terminology just to kind of like remind people, yeah, it is kind of. I'm saying, yeah, you might be on something there. It might just be them trying to like kind of say, you know, we're kind of every time right now.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to be kind of like the animated series being kind of like 40s, early 30s ish as much as we can be, like, you know, World's Fair ish.
Right. Gotcha. All right, so next scene we have Fish Mooney, and she's waking up her, you know, kind of her, what would you call him? Her friend, Kelly?
Oh, yes. One thing before we get to Kelly.
Yeah.
But the last thing I want to point out that, again, the term monsters being thrown around. Now, here's a gripe I have with the episode. In setting up our bad guy here, we just kind of directly go from the young officer bringing like a file to the Gordon saying a girl has been killed, and he goes directly to Tompkins with this case file, which he just instantly says, "Oh man, this guy's a monster." Like, we don't really see much of these. It just seems like dead girl. Nothing really fancy about it. I mean, we know why it's a monstrous case later on, but still, I don't think anything in the report kind of dictates that it is really a monstrous thing. So that kind of bugs me.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it seems like a by the numbers murder at first, the way it's written. So I wish they could have.
But do you think that was maybe intentional? Do you think it was like, because I think kind of that was intentional in terms of the structure of the episode, where you're led to believe that this is just some sort of like run-of-the-mill murder case. And I even have written down in my notes a couple times, like, why is this so important? And like, ooh, a serial killer, big shock.
Well, I mean,
you know, stuff like that.
The thing that bugs me is I wish they gave just a little more detail like to how the body was found. That's all I'm really asking for. Like,
okay, yeah, I see what you're getting at.
Thomas go look at the thing and says, "Oh man, all these cuts is really gruesome here," and then go on with the scene. That's all I'm saying. I wish they had a little more like detail on why it was monstrous. Anyway, so yeah, see Fish and Kelly. Kelly, I forgot his name, so in the meantime I've just been calling him Prison Gilzine. And that's essentially what
Prison
Kelly.
Museum. All right, that's the perfect way to put it.
And that's essentially what Kelly is. He is her prison Gilzine. There's like her right-hand man in the prison who she does have a little fondness for. He hasn't betrayed her or anything. And remember, he's the guy that informed her on the lay of the land when she first got there. He's the one who took pity on her initially.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And we see, remember, she kind of sold out Kelly because she had to for like kind of her grand plan here. Because she had to like give up people, and he was like on the numbered docket, so he had to go, and even though she didn't want that.
But it's nice to see that she's really trying to make amends and make that work. It's like, I feel like this is almost kind of the most human side of Fish Mooney we've ever seen with the way that she interacts with this guy.
And again, it gives you an idea that Fish Mooney, she does have an actual sense of ethics here. Because again, she is kind of sweet on Bullock, despite the fact she is more than willing to put a bullet in his head if she needs to. And
I mean, you know, look at the situation she had Bullock in the very first episode.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. There's that, and the point is, like, afterwards, he still goes back to her and says, "Oh yeah, no hard feelings, right? No hard feelings."
Right.
There's that, and also the fact, she has such importance, like when she says, "Depending, only my friends call me Fish," stuff like that. So I mean, I think in Alfred, the more important thing I think might come back by the end of the show is that Alfred pointing out that I see you have like you're like a human. There's humanity to you, or something along those lines, saying you do have like a sense of ethics underneath it all, don't you, Miss Fish? So,
and then we get the title. Well, no, I'm sorry. She's saying that she has a plan and she's gonna get off the island or die trying. I think it's a weak cold open because it's just not a cold open. It's like the first 4 scenes of the episode and then title.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think
which is a problem that I've had before, and we've gotten a couple of really good ones in the past. Like, remind me of some of the really good ones that we got.
Well, I'm thinking of all the missed opportunities, and I'm thinking of the good ending ones. I can't think of the good opening. Well, I remember. Oh yeah, well, wait. What about when Gordon was in Arkham, and didn't they cut to right?
Well, there was a Scarecrow. I feel like both of the Scarecrow episodes had good cold opens.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I think there's that, maybe the Arkham one, if it did in fact end after like the fight broke out.
And then of course we have the Viper. That was our go-to.
Oh yeah, that is like him running with that ATM.
Right. Okay. Anyways, what's going on next?
So let's see, we got Alfred and Bruce here. We got kind of like a classic Batman moment homage here. So Alfred wants to go after Reggie, and he suggests like saying, knowing Reggie will probably be like essentially where the drunks are. Probably could be at a bar or at a gun range.
Yeah. No, what he says is, Reggie, he's probably graduated from alcohol at this point, and he's probably gone on to the harder stuff. So he's probably held up in a shooting gallery. Now, as soon as he said the term shooting gallery, I knew exactly what he meant. So I thought that was kind of funny. But then, oh no, he apparently his stab wound isn't bandaged up too well or something. I don't know. What's the deal with that?
The idea is kind of a similar way to, like Batman, Alfred trying to go out despite the fact that he's hurt because he has a job to do. And Alfred, we can see Alfred through the scene. He's trying to hide his weakness, which I thought was a really good bit there. He's like on the hand trembling and stuff. He's tried putting it behind his back, not to show Bruce, so he can pull up a strong front. But then we see, I assume, in like his struggling to get out of bed and walk when he probably shouldn't be, he popped a stitch, and he's starting to bleed out.
Ooh, God, that's oh man. Okay, next scene. I don't even want to think about that.
I really don't want to think of that because like I'm sure it must be like near the chest or something. If he's popping a stitch, it must be running down.
Oh God, that.
Anyway, so
we had Bates Motel with the stitches last week. Oh God, no more stitches, please.
Right. Well, let's just say Daredevil has a lot of stitches related stuff.
No, why do you say that? That makes me not want to watch it.
No. Thankfully, it's not bloody though. I'm
just kidding.
It's the thread though. That's
like
the part that gets you.
Stitches and then spiders. Those are the two things that really get under my skin. Stitches very literally get under my skin.
Okay.
Pun intended. All right. Anyways,
so
we have a Penguin, and he's he's meeting with 1940s Italian stereotype mama.
Lydia.
She literally has a rolling pin. How great is that?
Oh yeah, the rolling pin was awesome. And here's the thing: I'm not sure what her relation is because I think Penguin's Gilzine, even though he does actually have Gilzine at his disposal, Penguin's Gilzine Gabriel is there, and
It's kind of bothering me. Like, where is Gilzy? I'm assuming he's just hanging out back at the
well, I mean,
the umbrella.
someone has to
Oswald's.
someone has to run the club while he's not there.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Anyways,
Gilzy has experience for that.
of course. And remember, the one thing, brainwashed or not, he does in fact care about the club. So there's that.
Sure.
So the point is, Gabriel, he's kind of his Gilzine on reserve. He's going there, and I can't because he calls her Mama. Now I'm not sure if that's like an Italian thing, like respect or something. But then I'm thinking it's that because otherwise I was thinking through the scene like, wait, is she Gabriel's mother?
Yeah.
And like she's still
At any rate, would you agree that she's kind of a stereotype?
Well, I mean, yeah, but we have Maroney in this series, and he's pretty awesome, but he's really stereotypical when you think about it.
That's true. Again, I still want him as Super Mario.
Anyway.
It's me, Mario.
Anyway, so the point is, regardless, mother or not, Lydia, she's just dead set on. She's really stubborn with that rolling pin and everything, saying she's not selling the place. But basically, Penguin, he keeps repeating his offer over again. If it's a matter of money or happenstance, like whatever you want to run for me to hand this bar over to me, I would love that opportunity. I will run it the way you want it to. Just you name it. You got it. So we can. I want this place. And she's saying no, but then she kind of a Godfather-y and kind of opening the Godfather type moment. She has hopefully I'm getting this name right. Antonia.
I didn't write it down, so I don't know.
Anyway, I think I wrote it down. I think it's Antonia.
Okay.
Or Antonia. Anyway, Antonia. She's been seduced by this guitar player. Kind of like the open the Godfather and says, "I believe in America."
Exactly.
I keep thinking of the Freakazoid version of that. By the way, I keep thinking of the whole "I want you to stuff an egg down her shorts."
And of course, I always think of the Rugrats in Paris version of that scene.
The Bob Father. Anyway, what's the point?
I believe in the playground.
That's a brilliant way to open that movie, by the way. Anyway,
it was.
So the point is, Antonia, her daughter or her granddaughter, it's not really specified. I think it's granddaughter.
I think it's granddaughter, yeah.
She's been seduced by this guitar player that she doesn't want any business with. I guess guitar players kind of frowned upon by old barkeeps. So she
makes sense.
Basically, make her leave him or make him leave her by whatever you have to do to split these two kids up.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically I'll consider it. And then Penguin just says, we'll have her home for Sunday Mass, which is a really funny line.
And now Gabriel, I want to nitpick this a little bit. He pulls kind of an everybody out when he basically just starts shit talking the place on his way out, and it's like in clear earshot of what's her name?
Lydia.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Did that bother you at all?
I don't know.
Like, man, this place is a dump.
I think she goes in the other room, doesn't she?
No, I don't think so. I think she's standing right there, if memory serves.
I know. I thought she was moving out of the room, but I don't know.
You could be right. You could be right.
You got a point, but I don't know. I think
okay, so now, yeah. Okay, so now I think that this is basically Bullock's equivalent of the lawyer bit from Better Call Saul. No.
Take us through it.
Okay, so yeah, Harvey, it just starts like, the scene literally starts with Harvey saying, no. Ah, come on, Harvey. Just help out a little bit. Hey, or no, what's he say? Shit, something about deserves. I want to say the line that Harvey says, but what's the lead into it?
He has a line. There's a really good line saying he said, Gordon says, well, you should get into this. Yeah, like you should help me on this case. And then Bullock says in retaliation, well, look, I want to be a girl who thinks pasty, who digs pasty Irish guys who love to cook, but that ain't happening.
Yeah. Well, we butchered that a little but whatever.
Well, no, yeah, it's like he did say something about pasty. Like, I want to meet a girl who likes a pasty Irish guy who
Well,
loves.
I think what it was is I think Gordon's like, Harvey, these people deserve justice. Yeah, well, you know what I deserve, Jim? Besides a Danish, I deserve a mute supermodel who likes pastry Irish girls and loves to cook. That's what I deserve, besides Danish.
No, it's pasty Irish guy who loves to cook. That's being him.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. Oh God.
Anyway.
Okay.
So then Ed walks by.
Yes.
Then Bullock's got a riddle.
Yeah, would you rather work more or less?
Is that a riddle? No. So basically, Gordon asked him to find file 3A.
Mm-hmm. Well, after he has a list of all the bars, including speakeasies.
Mm-hmm. Then also on the side, find file 3A. He says, I will solve this puzzle, which is, again, is a great little enigma moment, which is, I'm thinking it's going to set him down a dark road.
We'll see. Yeah, they've been definitely teasing about Enigma kind of like by the end of the season, kind of fully embracing his evil. So we'll see about that. We'll see what happens.
From the looks of things, next episode is going to be a big one for the Riddler.
We'll see. I mean, we've been promised that before, and look what happened with the whole Oswald Cobblepot thing.
But anyway, the point is, with that line, him saying like, "I will solve this puzzle," he says it so sincerely to Gordon, a man he respects deeply. So it's fun. We have a guy who may or may not be genuinely respecting Gordon at the beginning, and here we have someone who genuinely does, and Gordon acknowledges Edward slightly. He acknowledges him, and Bullock just kind of writes him off. Just that moment, just that sincere moment of, I will solve this puzzle, and like, thanks, Ed. It's always a sweet thing. And what is Spanish for no?
Bullock.
Oh, right, no.
Bullock, yeah, that's one of my favorite Bullockisms. Let me say it in Spanish.
No.
No.
It's just funny, like the classic Bullock Gordon thing of like Bullock saying, no, not gonna happen. No, okay.
And then Bullock, yeah, I guess he's been reading up on his Breaking Bad because he straight up pulls a Breaking Bad reference here. Fly too close to the sun, you're gonna get burned.
That pulls an Icarus reference.
Well, yeah, I know, but come on, Breaking Bad popularized that. You know they did.
Yeah, remind me, that was Mike who said that, wasn't it?
No, it's Walt talking about Mike.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, he's mentioned. Okay, I remember it now. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It was after Bullock offers some of the classic Icarus advice. Gordon's retorts like, "Come on, are you done? Let's go." Just he knows Bullock's gonna. At the end of the day, he knows Bullock's gonna go with him to help him at the end of the day. So the two of them take knowledge and just like, "Are you done with your little spiel, Bullock? Let's go. We have work to do. Okay, we'll get you Danish on the way. Let's go."
I should get a Danish as a prop. Why haven't you asked me to do that yet? Okay, anyways. So we see Fish, and she's kind of, maneuvering around, doing her whole deception. And I really like the way that she kind of turns the tables on everything throughout the episode. But for right now, her kind of plan, if you will, is that she needs stone cold killers, not whip-ass victims. So that's why she's decided to kind of align with the muscle
and
terms of what?
They ask a legitimate question after we get a bunch of muscly guys here. She asks a legitimate question. They ask a legitimate question. Well, why are we going for the boat? Because she says, like, we got the boat and the helicopter. She says, why are we going for the boat and not the helicopter? Do any of you know how to fly? That's why.
Oh, I love how that comes back. I think this episode has a lot of rewatchability to it. I'll say that much.
It does. And anyway, so then they point out the fact, well, do you have keys for it? Nope. Well, we gotta get keys to the boat. Leave that up to me. It'll be all ready and unlocked for you.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So next episode, Bullock, he's not one to complain about going to a bar, but
oh, that's a hilarious line. Now,
everyone needs a hobby.
Speaking of that hobby thing, like Bullock, I just love how the two of them are having their little retorts here. Like Bullock's kind of pointing out, this is a hobby case. It's an old cop term. It's a hobby case. Now, interesting enough, now again, Scott Snyder kind of made this famous with Gordon. that Jim Gordon, he looking into old case files, cold cases, as it were. And just the idea they're kind of bringing that into the fray here of like kind of Gordon taking on the case no one else will take to solve a hobby case. If you will. I love that idea. And then bringing it into the fray here in his book, saying, why are we looking at this? And, it's like something we don't need to do. Why are we looking into this? It's the right thing to do, Bullock. That sort of thing.
All right, so we have a bartender, and yeah, she remembers. Shoot, I need to look up this girl's name. What's the girl's name?
I don't
Help
know.
me out.
Just bartender. I don't remember the girl's name.
No. What's the victim's name?
Oh,
Grace Fairchild.
Yeah, Grace Fairchild. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, she recognizes Grace Fairchild. Mostly the thing that she recognizes the most is that she had a hot date.
Who looked a lot like Peter Petrelli.
Peter Petrelli getting all the ladies.
Especially the
Oh yeah. But anyways, so we get into a flashback, and I must say this flashback starts off fine, but then it turns into one of the most baffling flashback contrivances I've ever seen, and I hate it.
Well, the thing is, it's not.
I hate it.
Okay. Let me ask you this before we get into it. Do you hate it because, and let me finish here, do you hate it because it sounds like the bartender is regaling a story and then it just keeps going and going, even though she would have no recollection? Now, let me tell you this. Let me tell you why that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me because I think it's a stylistic thing. Because think about how each of our transitions start here with this. That it's like a horror movie, and there's like kind of the projection reels going that kind of burns or flickers out. And it cuts like a horror movie. So we're not seeing her describe it. Like she's just telling him she doesn't really know anything other than she doesn't really know that much. Except for that first scene, which the rest of it plays out as like this is just us, the audience, seeing this. As it.
No, I agree. The rest of it plays out that way.
Yeah.
But it's already left the impression in my head that the flashbacks are happening through the perspective of the bartender.
Well.
So it just bugs me the entire rest of the episode.
Well, all she would know is when she's serving the drink. The rest of it, maybe she was just around.
Which is why it bugs me.
Well,
that's exactly why it bugs me, because that's literally all she would know.
Well, I'm saying that's it. That's all she knows. We're not. She's not going through that because we see the whole thing play out. So we're not just having her tell it because we see from the rest of the episode how it progresses. So we can just pick up from that. Okay, it's not her perspective.
Yeah, fair enough. I just don't like the fact that they kind of like led in with one flashback device and then kind of went into another flashback device.
Well, again, the thing is, like, you just from the beginning, it starts with that whole little horror movie cuts. You know, I'm thinking that's intentional.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying though that if they like specifically they had it like as the bartender is telling the story, it goes to that horror movie cut. And I agree with you that throughout the rest of the episode, it's fine, and I really don't have any complaints about it. But just the fact that it was like trying like. I don't know. I just thought it was sloppy that the bartender's memories are kind of like the jumping off point. I could talk. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a Nazi
initially
when it comes to plot and structure and all that. I don't know.
Look, again, initially I had the same thing, but then I saw how the rest of them kind of kept doing that horror movie thing. I just thought, okay, from the beginning, yeah, it's a little horror movie, little introduction to this guy. Because the interesting thing about this episode is we don't meet this guy at all. We see him through this little mini horror movie that we wouldn't and not have seen if it were through the perspective of any characters. Because no other characters.
That's true.
That's the scary thing. No other characters know this guy or have seen this guy at all. Otherwise, he'd be easy to identify.
All right. So, anyways, what's going on with Peter Petrelli?
So yeah. Oh, by the way, so a little backstory. I found this out because the little promo thing that they've been displayed about this episode. So apparently, Milo Tiki, help me with the last name here. It's
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah, Milo Ventimiglia. He's he's a good actor. Obviously, in Heroes as Peter Petrelli, but he's also been in some other stuff. He was in the Rocky Balboa movie as Rocky's son. Yeah, he was good in that. The point is a good actor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And apparently, what I found out here, it surprised me that he is good friends with Ben McKenzie, the guy who plays Gordon, and that might be a reason why he's in the show because he kind of knows him. I assume he worked on maybe the way they knew each other is he worked on him with that show Ben McKenzie was on, the cop show. Was it the OC? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
The OC was a soap opera.
Oh, because not the OC. It was something. Something where Ben McKenzie played like just a regular kind of patrol, like a regular patrolman officer.
Okay.
Point is, I'm not sure what the show was, but the point, I think they might have known each other from that. The point is they work together, they know each other somehow, and that's why he's on the show. So we see
Okay.
our killer here, the ogre. We're going to find out later on he's the
No,
ogre.
no, his name's Peter Petrelli.
Until we get the name, the ogre.
Fine, until we get the name, his name is Peter Petrelli. He might as well be the same character.
Well, no, he's a murderer, so he can't be the same character.
Just let me have this.
Anyway, so we see our killer here. So he's talking to this girl. He's whining and dining her and buying her a drink, I guess. They're talking. Essentially, he's saying, well, you know, my quirks are like I have expectations that are hard to come by. And basically, all I ask is, basically, it's a really charming thing of what girl could resist it, saying, you know, basically unconditional, real, intense love.
Totally cheesy, right?
Exactly. So, you know, he's working the charm, which I love the idea right off the bat with this guy, that we're kind of getting a taste of what Bruce Wayne years later will kind of be putting a face on also for the world, except this guy
That's true.
Except this guy truly believes in it's taken to really dark levels. But the point is like kind of like the handsome playboy kind of character, similar to what Bruce Wayne will become. So it was interesting.
So, yeah, we get back to the apartment, and I mean, I'll just go with you in terms of the flashback structure, but I just have to note that in my notes, I literally wrote in all caps, "How the fuck is this flashback happening?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, question
Which
mark.
again, I'll say, just at first I thought that, but then just seeing it periodically makes you think it's intentional.
Okay, so back at Peter Petrelli's apartment.
It's a really nice place.
Yeah, really nice place, really nice place. You know, and he's kind of humble about the whole thing. He's like, "Well, thank you for taking a chance on me."
Well,
as he's closing his what?
Let me say this. I got a real American Christian Bale movie.
American Psycho.
Yeah, American Psycho vibe from this.
Patrick Bateman.
Exactly. You got a real Batman. You got a whole American Psycho vibe here because he has this really nice place. He's wining and dining women. He has like a really, you know, playboy face here. But then he's going to the back, in like corners of his apartment all over the place. He has like weapons of torture and murder around.
I just wrote down that it's his 50 Shades of Grey chamber. Because that's what it is.
Again, I took more American Psycho, just given the dark turn it takes, and just the fact that they're hidden all around the place, which is like, if you look at American Psycho, it's where like he's talking to the girl, and in the back it has like a chainsaw, like in the fridge he's got like heads next to yogurt.
Yeah. If Peter Petrelli would have played Christian Grey, would you have seen 50 Shades of Grey?
Well, probably not.
Would have made it a little more interesting.
I mean,
like, really? Peter Petrelli? Okay.
Yeah, but still, it's 50 Shades of Grey. Unless Bryan Cranston was in that, I don't think I'd see it.
Oh dear, Bryan Cranston is Christian. Okay, let's get back on the rails.
Anyway, so basically, it's a nice place. He's winding down the girl. You see his implements of torture around the place, which includes kind of, I guess, 50 Shades of Grayish stuff. You know,
yes,
like,
it is totally 50 Shades of Grey. I'm
a
sorry,
few, but still,
a
lot of murders and leashes, a lot of knives, murderous tools, and leashes.
Did you know that my grandparents went to go see 50 Shades of Grey?
That is information I did not need to know, Tiki. Moving on.
I find that hilarious. They went to go see Deep Throat in the 70s, and now they went to go see 50
Again,
Shades of Grey.
Tiki, still the same path of stuff I didn't need to know.
All right, anyways.
So let's see. So she suggests, like, she's kind of being forward here, saying, well, you know, I could stay here the night. So again, you got a real horror movie vibe from this whole thing, again, with kind of the cuts from in and out of like the burning film, kind of flickering vibe, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Sure.
Anyway, so let's see. So basically, so you got your so Gordon's saying the Bullock, you know, you're not dropping this, are you? Nope, not a chance.
All right, so next up we have Bruce, and he's got a notebook in hand, and he's going to a gun range. Yeah, because that's what a shooting gallery is.
Yeah, by the way, I love, I love Alfred, like the fact he kind of tenderly is put Alfred on the couch and taking care of him. Really nice. And then I also Bruce Wayne with a phone book too. So again, making the time period ambiguous. Just love how the phone book's coming into play here.
And then I love how the Penguin just kind of ominously walks by, and I love the little look he gives him. Like, do you think the look is like, what the hell, a little kid at a shooting gallery? or a little kid at a gun store, or is he acknowledging, like, is that Bruce Wayne?
That's the thing.
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
here's the thing is, I love just the ominous vibe in the score and everything. Just like Bruce is like outside the gun range, and then Penguin's just walking by with this class. His theme is from above. We see the shoes walking with the cane and everything. Just that moment, like he just turns to the side. And so, it's like that moment because we saw him in his grand scheme on the ceiling way back in episode 2 with little Bruce Wayne on the ceiling saying, you know, like brat, whiner, brat about parents' murder. You know, the point is like he has no respect for Bruce Wayne.
True, that's true. I totally forgot about
even
that.
though in the first episode he's the one like giving that BS story to the deceased Crispus Allen and Montoya.
The deceased. Yeah, let's just assume Montoya's dead too.
Which, by the way, ridiculous that Crispus Allen is still in the credits. He's still in the credits.
I don't think he said one line of dialogue like the whole show.
No, he said a few lines, but still, how is he in the credits?
Oh, it's funny.
How is he?
Funny.
Not even a guest. He's not even just a guest. He's in the. Oh my god.
Well, at least we didn't get any ridiculous Barbara stuff this episode.
Oh, that's all I have stuff. I'm gonna rant in the end of this, Tiki. I'm gonna rant big time anyway.
Why? About Barbara?
No, I mean about the promo.
Even though she wasn't there?
No, we know she's gonna be a big part of the next episode.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm gonna rant. I'm just gonna pre-rant. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyways, the point is, I love the little fact that the Penguin has some emotions about Bruce Wayne. And it's the idea of like this kind of that fadey thing of like, wait a minute, I'm sensing a presence I haven't quite felt before. No, you know, that sort of thing. Like he just knows, like, wait a minute, was that? Nah, I'm moving on. But it's just that moment of like two pivotal characters to the show who's like almost came in contact with each other. There's nope.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have stuff to do. I have people.
Okay, so speaking of Breaking Bad references, is this a little bit of a Crazy 8 situation? Is this a bike lock that they have him in?
I don't know. I don't think it was a bike. I just thought he was like tied up or something.
Well, he was tied by the neck. It was specifically the neck, which made me think of Breaking Bad.
Well, I'm sure Penguin, a man of means and a reasonable amount of monetary conveyance, would be able to afford some better than a bike lock.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just stretching for Breaking Bad references.
However,
So
I did get a big Dark Man flashback in this scene, though.
Why is that?
Oh, you'll see. So they're talking. It's Penguin and Gabriel. They're talking to him. They're like, "Are they in agreement with the little guitar player kid here?" And he's saying, "Nope." Well, there's a little problem with that. You know, he's not agreeing to leave the girl alone or leave her because he's in true love.
Ooh,
get in the way of this.
Back around.
Yeah, you can't get in the way of this. This is true love. So you want me to put a slug in him? Like you want me to shoot him? This is no. I'm thinking about it. Like I'm thinking about removing his fingers. And he says, "Okay, well, let me shoot his fingers." No, don't shoot his fingers. Lose them. Basically, so Penguin says, like, lose the fingers. Okay, I want me to shoot the fingers off. No, don't shoot the fingers. Lose them. And it basically cuts him off like with the pliers, like the it's the thing that they used on Jimmy. Like they used like the wire cutters in Jimmy in Better Call Saul. Remember,
right, yeah.
Basically using the wire cutters, and remind me of in Dark Man how the bad guy in that movie, in the beginning of the movie, before we get Dark Man, he removes the fingers of his associates with a little cigar cutter.
All right, well, I've never seen Dark Man, so I'll take your word for it.
Well, that's his shtick. It's really weird, and I was thinking, I really wrote in my notes, because I gotta tell you, one of my like much like your pet peeves of like not pet peeves, pet horrificness. Of like, you know, giant carnivorous plants and stuff like that.
Giant carnivorous plants, spiders, as we discussed, stitches, and
stuff
also
like
anything having to do with shit being like toenails or fingernails. Ugh.
Well, for me, it was aside from just medical stuff, it was just the removal of body parts that can never be reattached, or basically body parts that get lost and you can't get them back. So the guy loses, like the fingers just dropping like the it's like in the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Well, what do you think of freaking Grand Budapest Hotel then?
Well, I mean, it still bugs me. I'm saying like the most horrific example being Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I'm not going to tell you what happens for the people who haven't seen that movie, but let's just say
Yeah.
something with a finger really terrifies me in that movie.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. So next scene we have Bullock and Jim going in to see Tompkins, and oh, it's just the man I wanted to see. And Bullock's like, well, don't tell that to Jim. He'll get jealous.
Good old Bullock.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so they get talking, and essentially, just to boil it down here, Grace was missing for 4 months, but the body was in pretty good shape for having been. It wouldn't have been this in good shape if it had decomposed for 4 months. So obviously, she's been in good shape until that point, which made me first think refrigeration, but no, it's something else.
Walt Disney status.
That is I hate that. I hate that misconception. He was cremated, darn it.
Never go away. It will never go away.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point is, like, so the suggestion here is, wait, so she must have been gone before she was murdered. She must have been killed. Basically, she must have ran away before she was murdered. And Gordon says, no, she was taken. And she was kept prisoner. I mean, so she was kept prisoner before she was killed.
Mm-hmm.
So
then we get another horror movie flashback of girl waking up in Peter Petrelli's apartment, and she has a meeting. She has to go. She's already running ridiculously late. Peter's like, well, wait, come on. Why don't we get some breakfast? But she has to go back and shower, and then Peter Petrelli grabs her arm and won't let her go. Yeah.
It's not as romantic as you think, folks. It's really actually terrifying.
Yeah, actually, yeah, when I say that, it's like, like, I won't let you go, baby. No, it's more like, oh, you're mine. You're mine. Oh, God.
It's basically Jason, the guy's name. He's just saying, like, I don't know, she said, like, I have to go. Or something.
His name, I refuse to acknowledge his name is Jason. I'm sorry.
I know. Anyway, so Petrelli, Jason. The point is, like, she says, well, I have to go to work. And
no, literally in my notes, every time I reference this guy, I make a point to doing both Peter and Petrelli. I make a point of writing out the whole name.
Anyway, so this guy, he comes back at her by saying, just really, really creepily, really straight. I think as a good actor is saying, no, you don't. Just the emphasis on
that was a pretty creepy.
It's moment, like he's not hamming it up saying no you don't. He's just saying no you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Really creepy, really intimidating. So meanwhile, then we have back with the doll maker. So doll maker, he's leaving his office, his grand office, where remember last time he had Jeffrey Combs in really not so good a state.
Ooh.
Literally a demented kind of female doll kept alive.
Oh, it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Fish sneaks into his office, finds the keys to, like, I guess the gate and boat and the quote unquote boat.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, so then he finds her, and what a surprise, Miss Mooney. She grabs a knife, holding it behind her back in case she needs to use it against this guy. He sits down. He's in control of the scene. It would seem. And this is well, we're out of supplies, so supplies.
I think you're in charge.
Do you think you're in charge? Do you think you have power over me? Anyway, so he's running low on resources. As well, no, we're not. The supplies room is. So it's a really tense scene. Really tense scene. This is. There's one thing I can't abide, Miss Mooney. That is dishonesty. Dishonesty won't be tolerated. Pulls a gun out from under the desk. Really cool. It's like a gun under the desk.
I love how casually he says, like, I'm going to shoot you in the stomach.
Which will be very painful, and then that time you're going to tell me the truth because you'll be bleeding out, but slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like gunshots in the stomach are really horrible. They are.
And now this is the moment with Fish where I genuinely do question how much of it is acting on her part and how much of it is genuine.
Well, I think she's following the Walter White philosophy here. There's always an inkling of truth within any lie.
Sure.
So I mean,
but basically, she kind of breaks down, and she's she prays for the nightmare to end. She's really traumatized by seeing Dollmacher's creation, and definitively, she says she'd rather die than end up like that.
Yeah. So then she basically says, I was lying, but not trying to escape.
Hmm.
What are you going to slit my throat with that knife you're holding? And basically, I am haunted by what you did to Combs back there, and I'm terrified that it haunts me in my nightmares. So basically, if you lie to me again, I will. Oh, he has a really cool line. So basically, she'll either take your own life or you'll be one of my creations. And then he has this really great line saying, "Well, if you lie to me again, you lie to me again, Miss Mooney, and I will bring you back from the dead. I'll bring you back from the dead if I have to, and turn you into something else."
He says, I'll
Sorry,
turn you
yeah.
into something the world has never seen.
Then he has this
And
moment of
then,
pause goes by, and then he says, "Can I help you with anything else? Is there something else I can help
is
you
this
with?"
something else, Miss Mooney?
Sorry, that's the creepy bit right there. Is these moment after
Oh,
he
yeah.
gives really horrific and really coolly worded threat. Because again, Dollmaker is really interesting. He says like the previous episode, he said like, I'm fascinated by the idea of like when something ceases to become itself, when you remove its parts. Like when does it cease to
Hmm.
become something and become something else entirely? So then he just after all that intimidating, I'll bring you back from the dead if I have to. That is a very intimidating threat. He says,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
just after that horrific line, he just says, is there something else I can know? It was so friendly and so nice.
Nick Ford, at least he's offering the pleasantries in the middle of this tense confrontation.
Yeah,
At least he's making sure she's taken care of.
yep.
Oh God, oh God.
Meanwhile,
Okay, so next scene we have Bruce. He's walking down the alley, and Selena, she has this really cool move where she kind of like does a backflip off of a fire escape or something.
no one
Like
likes to
really
show
good
off, Selena.
entrance. I like a show off. I thought that was cool.
It was cool. Yeah, good old Selena.
All right, and then I like her line when Bruce. She walks up. She's like, I could have smashed in your head with a brick.
Why would you say that? Just him saying like, why? Just I love Bruce's response. Why on earth would we just say that?
Oh God! So Bruce, he gets a little bit of an education. He finds out what a shooting gallery is.
Now, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong in my understanding here, T, so I can explain to me and the kids at home. So, shooting gallery literally means the other meaning of shooting in terms of this is a place where all the drugs and the winos go to
Yes,
shoot up.
I'm assuming it's where you go to shoot up. Yes. Anything that strugs with needles, I'm assuming you can get at a shooting gallery.
That just make it weird, which understandably for a kid, especially like a kid kind of well protected in Bruce's case from like the horrors of the outside world, would
Sure.
would not be accustomed to that sort of part of town.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how Selena she finds it so adorable that he doesn't know. Oh, come on, love.
Like, you don't know about drug addicts.
And you want me, basically you want me to help you find that guy, Reggie Payne. So yeah, we're gonna find Payne. Going to the gun range. No, not a gun range. Ho, 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 ho.
Okay, so next, oh God, we have a really great transition where it's just, let's see, what do you say this girl's name was?
Lydia
Antoinetta
and I guess her granddaughter or daughter,
yeah.
and
And she's just, and I love this. I love the comedic timing of this. She's just like crying hysterically in the woman's arms, and then Lydia just big freaking broad slap across the face. Oh dear, oh dear, really good.
Go wipe
And
your
then
tears.
so she walks out. Yeah, she walks out to the penguin, and the penguin's like, "Well then, shall we discuss terms?" All right. Okay, so Nigma, he presents a piece of evidence, which is a broken heart painting, and it's not the real broken heart painting. It's a photocopy. A photocopy is a replica. Yeah, Ed, we know what a photocopy is.
Well, wait, take it. Are you sure it's a painting and not just like literally a broken heart, like a trophy? Well, not trophy, but I mean like a broken. Like I thought it was like just two pieces of a broken heart that I left at the crime scene.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's
I'm
a
not
painting.
entirely sure.
Well, when I looked at it, I didn't see a painting.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
So basically, Bullock, he just stares straight at the camera and says, with all the sincerity he can muster, "My God, this isn't Peter Petrelli's first rodeo." No, he doesn't say that.
Point is, he does say, there's a big moment of like, that's a familiar calling card. So now Bullock knows exactly who this guy is and what his modus operandi is. This is a serial killer, Jim.
Sure.
Then we go back
Okay,
to
so,
the truly horrific part of why this guy is such a monster. Much more of a monster than
this is
horrible
terrifying.
Zaz. That monster.
Yeah, like I'm not even gonna call him Peter Petrelli now because this is just straight up evil.
Yeah, we see how the ogre operates here.
Oh boy.
So basically, we see the girl. She's she's cooking. Basically, she's forced into cooking and going on a date with this guy in his home. So again, they haven't left the house. She's cooking and making the deal. It looks like she's strapped in, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got like this elaborate, like I'd almost say kind of like saw type thing that's like strapping her into the chair. It's quite horrific.
Implication being she has prepared the meal, put it down, then the ogre has basically not cuffed her, but like used a belt strap or something, like strap her hands down to the thing. So it looks like she can't. Does it look like she can eat or not?
I don't even know.
I don't even know if she can eat or not. The point is, she's like just there watching him eat, or the point is like she's there, she can't move. She's like making conversation with him while he's eating the food.
She's terrified, but she's like trying to keep him happy at the same time.
It's basically kind of the same tension that we got from the guy has a real vibe of Trinity Killer from Dexter.
Yes. Good call.
Just like that whole that false niceness, anyone you could call it a really bad name, we can't repeat here.
Right.
Well, we could, but it wouldn't be really polite. Anyway, so it's
okay.
It's the point of saying, I'm afraid that I'm worried the lamb might be a little overcooked as he's eating. Is saying, it's wonderful, darling.
Oh man.
So demented, and then basically after a moment he's eating, and he's just like talking with her. Something's not right here. He's just, I think it is a little overcooked. And then just a moment, just kind of that sigh of relief. I was a little worried, and then just bangs on the table. I don't think this is working out. It's not you. It's me.
Oh man.
So then
I must say, I think that line's a little bit of a cliche. I'm sorry, it just kind of is.
Well, I'm going to give him a pass on that because just what we just saw kind of justifies him. Let's give him some points here. Him saying, no, it's not you, it's me. I have something psychologically wrong with me. It is me.
Fair enough.
I'm going to give him points on that one. Making me think that he's just so demented. Like his whole shtick and his whole mozab.
And it's like, it is you because you're a psychopath. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm kind of giving that one a pass because it seems like kind of true.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you. It is me. Anyway, so then we cut to the next scene where basically he's just like a bag over her head. He's removing it, and then he's photographing her. And we go to his box of tools, his Dexter Morgan box.
Oh, it's totally Dexter.
And we see basically it's cross between Dexter and American Psycho with this guy.
Oh God, right.
So we see his box, his box of horrific murder tools, knives, and so forth, and photographs of his victims hanging with their hands strapped over their heads or something, basically really helpless looking and terrified women before they met their end. And this is, well, listen, don't you worry about me. I'll find her. About finding the right one. I'll find her. The one.
Right.
Really creepy. Just pretty much his last words to her. I know it's a shame, but don't you worry about me. I'll find the right one. I'll find her.
Yeah.
Oh God, really creepy. It's the idea he goes through all those lengths just because she wouldn't. Basically, one night stands did not stand for this guy. He demands complete commitment and relationship. This guy.
It's pretty much like the ultimate sort of like clingy boyfriend, but taken to the extreme.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we have Gabriel, and he's a bit confused about why Penguin would want to buy out this particular establishment.
It's not about motivation. Why is he motivated about this place?
Well, it's very simple. We see a portrait of Maroni, and this is a place where the Penguin plans to kill Don Maroni.
And it makes sense. And maybe that's why she's so stereotypical Italian. So they emphasize, there's something familiar about this place. I can't quite place. Oh, wait. Yeah, Don Maroni might be here. This is where I'm going to kill Don Maroni. And we know Gordon's going to have a role in that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's time for the breakout on Dollmacher Island, and Fish, she's rallying the troops, she's rallying the muscle, if you will, and Kelly, he notices, and I like how this is played, because basically at first you're just like, oh no, but then like Fish is like, okay, when you open this door, the alarm's going to go off. You're not going to have much time. I already unlocked the gate. I'll be right with you, but I need to go back for Kelly. And I was like, yeah, Fish, gain some morals. Yeah, moral compass, right on.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and then so she goes back, and I
remember,
love
says,
how
don't
this is.
Leave me. Remember,
right, yeah, exactly.
And that's such a horribly ironic line.
Indeed. Okay, so Dollmacher, he confronts her right off the bat, and oh, what wonders he'll make of her parts. Ooh, oh, that's so creepy.
And as the Dollmaker catches her trying to get back there, he pulls out a cattle prod. You lied to me.
Oh God.
What wonders I'm gonna make from you. And then basically the victims get their revenge as they pummel him mercilessly.
Yeah, but he is still alive, though.
He's still alive to make more Jeffrey Combs playmates. So basically,
okay. So meanwhile, we have
run for it.
Yeah. So the Muldoon and his troops, the catcher guy. I'm sorry, I just have Muldoon written down in my notes. The gate's locked, and we find out that Fish set all the muscle guys up basically to be bait, and I love that. And then we see all the victims, all the quote unquote victims that Fish was talking about, piling into the helicopter. Fish can fly the helicopter. Big reveal. I liked it.
Right off the bat, it just shows you she does care about the people actually needed, and the muscle guys.
Exactly. It really gives her a bit of humanity.
Yeah, she's figured. Well, these guys, I mean, they're muscly, they're criminals. I mean, they're. We can only carry so many people out in that helicopter. Might as well get the healthy guys out of the way and get the people who actually need help. So let's get them out of there safely. Mm-hmm. That's well thought out.
And then we have. I think this might be one of the most brutal scenes in the whole show so far, where the catcher guy basically just guns down all the muscle just in cold blood.
Oh yeah.
Pretty brutal stuff. And then I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I have written down in my notes, get to the chopper.
So they all get in.
I'm sorry, it wrote itself.
Well, no, it didn't write itself. It was just there.
Well, no, he literally says the chopper, and I'm like, get to the chopper.
So as he's getting to the chopper, we see Fish. She's gotten no one out of there. She's pulling the thing out of there. Unfortunately, because she's the only one that knows how to fly that thing. Hunter, he's smarter than the average bear. He realizes, oh wait, person flying the helicopter. I'm gonna shoot him. He does that, gets him right in the door and gets Fish in the stomach. So self-fulfilling prophecy there. So she does in fact get shot in the stomach, which is not good. Which means she'll be living, but she'll be in a lot of pain.
Oh boy.
Essentially, so she's got Tim Roth type injury there.
Right. Okay, so let's see. Next scene we have Bullock, and he's explaining the calling card of the heart. So you want to take us through this?
Let's see. So basically, Bullock says he nabs him, and he nabs him, wines and dines him, and then dumps him. And he leaves these little trophies, these little broken hearts after he does so. We have no ID on him. We nicknamed the Don Juan Killer or the Ogre.
Is the Ogre just to be ironic?
Yeah, it's an ironic name. It's purely why.
Okay,
the guy's like he does monstrous crimes, and yeah, he's a good-looking guy, so it is an ironic nickname.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then
I must say I do like the Don Juan Killer too. I think that's a cool name as well.
Yeah, Don Juan Killer is pretty fun. I'm assuming because this is such an ancient crime in the GCPD, not ancient, but it's such a reoccurring crime in the GCPD. When they do pick it up, I assume like the new generation kind of the GCPD nicknames.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a chance to nickname. So the Don Juan Killer obviously be the older generation. The Ogre would be like the new guys trying to come up with something creative.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I love this. So it's the GCPD's dirty little secret. I love that terminology on this guy.
Yeah. Right.
And here's the big reason why he's the GCPD's dirty little secret. Like Gordon's asking logistical questions, like why isn't the media got any word of this guy? Why am I only hearing about this guy right now? Well, apparently the ogre, he is a case that's not looked into, and Gordon was tricked into getting this case, which we'll find out why in just a moment. But the ogre retaliates on cops who investigate, and when he finds out, like when it's in the media of someone going after him, he finds that cop's loved ones and makes them his next victim. And like, well, how did Jim? How did you get this case? An officer told me. Who?
Who, Jim? Who?
Who's B?
Yeah. Who's B? Who's B?
Okay. Anyway, so then we have a real poignant scene, huge scene, a monumental scene for Bruce and Selena here. So they find.
I knew you would like this scene. Yeah.
So they're at the shooting gallery, and we have, first of all, I love the scene for many reasons. We're at the shooting gallery, and we see Reggie Payne. He's all passed out. I don't think I just think he's hung over. I don't think he's necessarily knocked up yet. But then again, he has his medicine handy, so maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I kind of think it's like, remember Breaking Bad when Walt had to go into that the crack house to get Jesse out?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's kind of in that kind of state. He's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
like I want to say he's kind of like in between highs. Like he's kind of like coming down from one high and like planning on shooting up again.
I'm gonna say like he got. I think he's just like kind of in a weird way. I think he's like perpetually drunk until he shoots up. He's just kind of like sleeping it off, and this is like next morning before he shoots up again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know. I could be. I'm probably just completely wrong. The point is, he seemed too coherent to be on drugs at the moment. I don't know. Point is, Reggie awakens and they want answers, and then this whole scene just plays out exactly like kind of a Batman Catwoman interrogation.
It really does, yeah. I love it for that reason.
Which I love. So basically, Bruce is like interrogating Selena's like holding the medicine over the side of a building, and it's really clever the way this.
Hey, that's my lunch and dinner.
Yeah, it's lunch and dinner. Well, more like his lunch, dinner, and dessert. So. Yeah. Yeah, so like she's holding it over the side, threatening to drop it. And I love kind of the reveal with this. So anyways, like threatening to drop it. Gets information from Reggie. Reggie saying, "Well, look, I was supposed to like see what documents you had, get pictures of them, take them if I could. How's Alfred? Is he okay?" And basically saying, "Well, you don't care about Alfred. You stabbed him. I care."
Yeah, and we know he does. So yeah. I like that. I like that moment.
And he was ordered to incapacitate Alfred if he had to, and he had to. He didn't have to do so lethally, if you ask me. But then again, maybe because he's so drunk and out of sorts, he just reverted to kind of a violent way of doing it, just not without thinking. Maybe that's the reason why it was such a violent means. So, Bruce is asking, like, "Who sent you? Who?" And basically saying, Reggie warns Bruce because he does somewhat care about Bruce. He doesn't want the bad things happen to the kid, but it just
he does. Yeah.
He says, "Well, only look, kid. Only Alfie can deal with this. You can't go after him. This is too big for you. It's too dangerous." And
he's begging Bruce to stay out of it.
He gives two names. I forget the first name of the second person, but remember it's Molly Mathis, or the black woman who was in Viper Onward.
Right.
And the other guy's name is Bunderslaw.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Yeah, really. Seriously, what were they thinking with that name? Man, as far as I can find, I don't think it's a comic scare. I think it's an original name. What are you doing? Bunderslaw.
It sounds like a cartoon character or something.
Basically, Mathis and Blunderslaw. This sounds kind of cartoony.
You just can't say that name and have it sound serious. I'm sorry.
Let me try. Yes, Mr. Blunderslaw.
All right, fine.
So,
all right.
So basically, he's like asking what was he scared of? You remember the rest of the scene plays out before the climactic moment? Anything else here after the names are said?
Not really. No. Selena, Bruce says to give Bruce tells Selena to give the medicine back, but instead she does toss it out the window, and Reggie goes for it, and it's revealed that the bag is on the ledge. But I must say there is this kind of ridiculous moment where Reggie's just like, silly little children. And then he says the most ridiculous line. He's just like, I'm going to tell on you.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty funny. So you like, I think he says something before that of like, what are you scared of? And like you knew this would happen. Because Bruce is angry at him, so it's kind of be okay, like drop the thing, but she drops it on a windowsill. So again, it's like a way of getting more information, but also not getting rid of the guy's medicine, so they still have a bargaining chip. So it was pretty clever.
Right.
So anyway, so then after she drops, you're a sick man. Hey, I have my vices, but I'm a professional. He'll come after you, and he'll come after you, you silly little children. I'm gonna tell on you.
I'm going to tell on you.
Which is really funny. Just calling him silly children, then saying the most childish thing ever because he's on something. Just saying, I'm going to tell on you.
I mean, I must say, as much as I do like Reggie, and I'm glad that he came back for one more episode, it's not very flattering last words.
True. So then this moment,
tell on you.
So yeah, pretty much Reggie's saying, Reggie in that moment just saying, like, I'm gonna put you in danger, regardless of his feelings from Bruce and I, because you're challenging me. You threw away my lunch and dinner. So he's not pleased. Anyway, so he's going there, and Bruce is just fuming with this guy. He wants to really just pummel this guy because he stabbed Alfred, and he's not having that. So he said Bruce has a moment of classic. Oh, this moment here, classic Batman temptation here. Of like just kind of he wants to. This guy's bent over. He's kind of reaching for the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect position to knock him out a window. And Bruce has a moment of temptation where he almost does it, but then he relents because he's Bruce Wayne, because he's awesome. Selena Kyle, on the other hand, she notices this, and she can see on her friend Bruce, how tormented he is by what has happened between this guy and Alfred. And she knows how this is such a bad thing, and she makes a decision. This guy's a real scumbag. He stabbed Alfred, not a good guy. And I know Alfred too. She stayed at the mansion for a while, so she does the unthinkable. She does something Catwoman usually doesn't do, but we'll give him some leeway here. She's not beyond doing if she has to. So she pushes him out the window, and he falls to his death. And Bruce just has this moment, kind of this horrified reaction, like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. And I'd say it's safe to say that is probably going to be the defining moment of their relationship going forward.
Oh yeah, because again, this is the first fatality.
That is just literally all the differences between Selena and Bruce can just be wrapped up in that one action right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, as close as
I really loved it. I thought that was one of the best moments of the whole show so far, to tell you the truth.
As close as these two kids are, I mean, it's funny. Desperation has defined both of them, but in different ways. Mm-hmm. Desperation made Bruce who he is today, because desperation on the street, perhaps, made him desperation on the street and the city by proxy just kind of ended up killing the parents, and Selena's just raised on desperation, and that desperation she knows what has to be done. So it's funny, she's in kind of the same criminal element as the killer of Bruce's parents, perhaps. Again, we don't know all the details of this iteration, but because he might have been hired by somebody.
Sure.
But still, same thing.
Okay, so
there have been big moments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So again, huge moment that was still the first fatality, and Bruce watching a murder unfold, and this is going to help cement one of the best qualities of Batman. He does not kill.
Indeed. I really liked it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Final scene of the episode, we have Gordon kind of going into it with what's his name? Len something.
Yeah, it's Len Moore, and it's Bullock who's holding the kid, Bullock's throttling the kid, asking who told you? Who gave you that case? Mm-hmm. And then basically the kid breaks, because how can you not with Bullock, a guy who says, let me beat it out of Alfred, say your cheese, man. Let me beat it out of this kid.
But of course, nothing will beat the threat of him, threatening the guy who's explaining the weather balloons. Come on, why don't you say it, kid, or I'll beat it out of you. That was so unnecessary. I'm sorry, I'm still hung up on that.
What does a hot air balloon do when it's up? What does any balloon do when you let it go? What eventually happens to it? It pops. Oh, right. Why don't we do that? Anyway, this point is we find out that here's one of the big scenes of the episode. I love this scene. So we find out the kid was acting on Loeb's orders. And remember Loeb, of course, he was kind of Gordon forced making him a policeman's president, or at least nominating for the policeman's presidency.
I'd say, if anything, I would actually call Loeb perhaps the main antagonist of the show.
Well, I mean, him and Falcone.
Right, Falcone too. Right.
Because remember, like, Falcone and Loeb are really close. That's the thing I keep seeing them. These two guys can, because Loeb is.
But I mean, like, I think even more specifically towards Gordon's storyline, I definitely think Loeb is the main antagonist, and I'm sure that's the same way in the comics.
Of course,
too.
classically, so Loeb again, he's commissioner right now, so this is the big obstacle Gordon has to overcome before he can even get close to the commissioner position.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much. Gordon has like the disheartening moment of finding out the kid was like armed with information by Loeb, like, you know, all these lies of praise for Gordon, and like, you know, saying, "Oh yes, you really inspired us." And of course, just coming from Loeb, that's such a low blow. Like, "Oh, you're not making any difference, are you, Gordon?" Oh, it's so.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well played, because like you and me both, that was a moment where we were kind of legitimately proud of Gordon, and then it just gets taken away from us.
And remember, Gordon had him by kind of the shoe straps or the belt straps last episode. You know, because he had him like on the ropes here, saying, "Well, look, I'll threaten you with your daughter if I have to. I'll put her in Arkham if I have to. If you're not going to give me a chance."
Right.
And anyway, so he says like he had no choice, which we know officially the kid didn't have any choice because Loeb has something on everybody. Everyone has Cobblepot. And Bullock knows this all too well. He kind of storms off saying, "Well, yeah, I know exactly what you mean." Because remember, he had all that over him, but now thanks to Gordon, no longer the case. And then we have this moment here. So in retaliation, I'm sorry, I think I'm glazing over something before we get to the big Loeb versus Gordon scene. So Bullock has this great moment. Bullock says to Gordon as they walk off from the kid, saying, "Look, Jim, you're in the clear. No press got into this. You know, it's in your pocket. Everything's fine right now. Then you don't have to pursue this case. As far as the owner knows, you're fine. You're not involved in this case. We've just been asking people questions, nothing more. This is no time to be a hero. I'm begging you, don't do this." And then Gordon says, "Well, you know, that blood." Basically, that blood could be in my hands, and that blood could also be Leslie's.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're throwing around the name Lee a lot, and you and me kind of don't like that nickname, but whatever.
The point is, it could be that blood could also be Lee's. Yeah. Gordon says, "I'm going for it."
All right, and then comes the big confrontation.
I love this scene. So Loeb's walking in with his, I guess, some high-ranking officials of some sort. He's walking in, and then Gordon just like he is ticked off because he knows the position he's been put in here. Because here's the thing: this scene made me so happy as a Gordon fan because Gordon, we've seen this many times in the series. One thing that just really sets him over the deep end is when he has to mix personal life with private life. Personal life with work life. Because that puts his personal life in danger. So
exactly.
Never wants to mix family with police work, because it always ends in disaster, as we see in the comics with Barbara Gordon and so on and so forth. Good Barbara, not crappy TV Barbara. Anyway, so Gordon, he's really pissed off at Loeb. He's walking up to him, interrupting him in his meeting, just really publicly. And of course, Gordon, we've seen in the show various times, he's not afraid to go public in the middle of the precinct yelling at people.
Not at all.
Just pretty much walks up to Loeb, kind of grabs him by the shirt collar, like tells the other guy to back off. Where he raises the finger to the guy, like, "Wait, hold on a minute, I gotta say this." Says, "Yeah, you crossed the line, Loeb." We tried to play it my way. Now I'm gonna find the ogre, and then I'm coming after you next. Then you're done. After I find the ogre, you're done. It's pretty much saying, I tried to play it my way. You said no to that. You sent a killer after me, essentially, and the people you threatened my loved ones. I'm going to find the ogre. I'm taking him down, take on this impossible case, and then I'm coming after you because you're done. Oh my God, really good line.
And that's it. That's the end.
Oh yeah. By the way, I love Peter Scolari as Loeb. He's kind of the tension that this guy has such presence as Loeb, and Gordon's playing with fire with this guy.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that was episode 19. So before we get into final thoughts, let's hit up some speculation.
Okay, so really not much in the promo. Just the big thing in the promo is that we know who his next victim is going to be. It's not going to be Leslie, at least not at first, because it's going to be Barbara.
Yeah. And this is kind of the scenario that you've been dreading from the start. That Gordon's going to save Barbara, and they're going to get back together, and then he's going to be like, Lee, look, I'm sorry, we had a good run, but I really care about Barbara. So why don't you just rant about this? Because
Well, I'm gonna pull the rug out from under you on here, this Tiki, because believe it or not, I see a glimmer of hope within this. You know why?
Do you?
Do you
think Barbara might die?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
So I got two. I think two things could happen here. I'm a little more positive on that whole thing I laid out for you before. I saw a glimmer of hope I never thought of before until this moment presented itself. One, she dies. We all win. Out of guilt, years later, maybe he names the first kid after Barbara.
Okay.
That's option one. That's the most preferable option. It solves all our problems. Option two, not ideal, still following that thing I've been dreading, but still has a glimmer of hope behind it. We've seen this guy do horrendous things to a woman, basically almost like drive her to the brink of sanity, you know, basically putting her in such a terrifying situation. You can imagine any surviving victim would be have horrible mental scars, correct?
Gotcha.
So here's what happens, potentially. Barbara's next victim, God knows why. Thankfully, he must have got his information screwed up, saying, "Oh wait, who was he involved with? Was it that Dr. Leslie Tompkins or Barbara Gordon?" You know, it's not Leslie Tompkins because that'd be as we all know, he ends up with Barbara Gordon. Barbara Keene. So
Right.
it must be her. So he has the same perception as us in that matter. I'm not kidding. But the point is, he goes after Barbara for some reason. Why? I have no idea. I don't care.
So are you saying that Peter Petrelli is like the genie in Aladdin? He just has like perception on like all this like comic book mythology and stuff?
No, I'm just saying Petrelli for some reason is doing us a favor. But the point is, so let's say this. Let's say he takes Barbara in and he just does more of this horrific stuff to her, like the stuff like making her make dinner and all that stuff, basically which I think might be the writer's way of saying, you know, we screw up big time, Barbara, and this is the only way I can think possibly, and this is the only absolute way I can think to reset her into the right way. It'd be a dark way of doing it, but it would get the job done. That he does all this stuff to her, even worse than we saw with this girl. And at the end of the episode, like Gordon, he swoops in, saves her at the last minute before being murdered. But we see the end result is that she is a psychologically shattered shell of a woman. So she's essentially she's been Gilzine reprogrammed, at least initially. Gilzine, in a way. Follow me on this. So I'm saying.
We don't know if Gilzine reprogrammed is just a big hoax on Penguin or not. We don't know that.
That's a fair point. But I'm saying regardless, I'm saying we have like a point where she's just such a shattered, like helpless woman that she's like be a burden on Gordon, more so like an actual likable burden. That from that point forward with season 2, perhaps like he sees that because I was too late, because she was involved with me in some way, somehow. She actually needs me. She cannot function as a human being without me right now. I have to break up with Leslie because I can't put that burden on her, whether I like it or not. And maybe from that point forward, as Barbara she starts like a shattered, maybe like a woman who won't leave her house type thing, like she's just so terrified of everything. Perhaps and Gordon.
This is like kind of taking what we don't like about Barbara and just amplifying it.
Well, I mean, no, I'm saying we start her off like that. I'm saying this instantly though. We see Gordon just that, and I'm saying she starts off as that burden, but like from that point where she can be reprogrammed. So like he slowly eases her out of that state and actually makes her a likable character. We root for her rehabilitation, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just saying that's just the worst case scenario in terms of like still the worst possible route to go. I'm just trying to ease the blow of that. I'm just saying like the only way I can figure making her likable again would be just to take her from the beginning, make her likable by subjecting her to the most horrendous thing ever, and then just like we like her as she recovers and realizes, you know, I made a lot of horrible mistakes. I don't want to do that again. Or just please help me.
Yeah, I see where we're getting at. I don't know. I think it's a pretty helpless case, but we'll see what happens.
Well, again, I either kill her or just reprogram her, or like the third option, which again, if that Gilzine thing is actually genuine or not, maybe Victor Zsasz gets his hands on her as reprograms just for the heck of it. That monster Victor Zsasz, give that line some meaning.
That monster Zsasz.
Yeah, so maybe we give that line some meaning. He actually reprograms her, and she starts off as a completely more likable character from that point forward.
Okay.
I'm just throwing those three out there, but again, either kill her, like make her likable by subjecting to a horrible thing so they root for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically, so from that point. Anyways, so those
all right, so we got 3 episode titles. You want to go through the episode titles?
Yeah.
Okay, under the knife, I think that's pretty obvious. It's just Barbara being quote-unquote under the knife of Peter Petrelli.
Well, there's another thing, though. So in the promo, there was one more thing. Again, it was just really focused on Barbara being the next target. That was the main thing of it. But also, we saw Nigma holding a knife. So that's also...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
So we saw Nigma with a knife. So I'm sure that's also going to relate to the episode. And also, it might relate to the doll maker.
All right, and then the anvil and the hammer.
I hear rumors...
Or, I'm sorry, it's the anvil or the hammer.
So the interesting about that title, I'm hearing rumors that, again, these are unfounded rumors. I can be completely wrong with it, but I heard they might be confirmed. So don't hold me to this. I hear Joker may or may not be introduced again. He might be reused in the season or reintroduced. I don't know. The Joker might factor into the ending of this series. So maybe.
Now, when you say the Joker, are you saying the quote-unquote Joker that we already met,
that's the thing. I don't know.
Another iteration of the Joker?
From what I hear, it's going to be Cameron Monaghan Joker. Like,
okay.
And it's not confirmed, so it could be him or it could be a new guy. The point is, a Joker might factor into the ending of this season, and maybe that it sounds like a Looney Tunes title. Sounds like a Joker kind of anvil connection there.
So what should I use to kill you? The anvil or the hammer?
Exactly. So I'm thinking like something like that. Just the word anvil makes me think of that. Just like okay, well, it might be kind of a Jokerish kind of Looney Tunes angle.
And then finally, we have episode 22, the season finale. I really like this title as a season finale. It's all happy families are alike.
Oh, yes. Aww. I have various theories on this one. Oh, my God. I have a lot of ideas. Let me boil it down. Essentially, I'm hoping that we kind of go full circle that kind of cool idea of at the beginning, Gordon and Falcone talking.
Right.
So I'm really hoping by the end of this season, because this episode makes me think that, like, in an ideal world, again, I'm not saying we're going to get all this. I'm just saying maybe the episode's about the mob, first and foremost, with all the mob families in there. That'd be your main thing of the episode. Like, the mob family's going to come into an end. Like, maybe that whole bare hands and my teeth might come into play.
I will be disappointed if it doesn't. You know that.
So there's maybe a bit of that. There's, I think the whole Falcone, the Maroni murder attempt might factor into that, which might bring Jim Gordon into the fray with the Mafia again.
Okay.
Because remember, Penguin's going to ask a favor of him. He brought like that poisoned, the wine that might be poisoned, Godfather style.
Ooh. Okay.
So there's a bit of that. So then Gordon still owes Penguin a favor, which is dangerous.
That's very true.
And he wants to kill Maroni, so put the pieces together on that one. Here's what I'm kind of hoping happens. I'm hoping we get a parallel of like maybe a few mini flashbacks of Gordon with his father in relation to Falcone.
That'd be nice. Yeah, you've been hoping for Gordon flashbacks for a while.
And I think thematically with the season and everything, what juncture they wrap up the whole Bruce Wayne murder, the parents' murder thing, however they wrap that up. I'm hoping like just thematically with Bruce Wayne, it's like he realizes he does have a pache of a family around him with Gordon, Alfred, and Selina.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, it's like Batman building like a family after the loss of his family. So I'm kind of hoping that's what they kind of established with the theme of family within all that.
I'm also kind of hoping that Mrs. Cobblepot somehow figures into it.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I think she also is going to factor in that. I think she might be dying in that episode.
Yeah, well, we've said that before, so I don't know. Mrs. Cobblepot might just survive the season. I think if anyone is guaranteed to die, it's probably Fish. Because she literally said she wasn't going to be on the next season unless her character just gets written off in some way.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, again, in the whole family thing, that'd be the place to kill her.
Sure. Okay, anyways. So, with that, I'd say that wraps it up. Do you want to get some quick final thoughts in there?
No, sure. Again, overall, really talking about kind of rewatching and stuff. I think it's a little better than I gave it credit for. I mean, it is. I think it's a solid episode. It wasn't bad at all. Just it was solid. When it had great character bits in it that kind of shaped maybe these next 3 episodes. It was a good intro to the whole ogre stuff. Again, it was a really good idea to see the ogre kind of this build up before no one has met the ogre in the episode. It's all flashback, kind of horror movie flashback with the ogre, which is a cool idea. Mm-hmm. So again, hopefully it pans out well. I really hope they don't drag it on for 3 episodes because we need those precious episodes.
I think definitely the last 2 episodes are going to be just all ramping up towards like some big final thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of, again, I'm hoping that maybe beyond hopes that the only positive thing here, that Barbara thing, is going to be that he either kills her and that's going to shape Gordon, or the biggest thing I'm hoping from this ogre story is that I got a big sense of at the end of this episode is that whatever's going to happen with the ogre is going to motivate Gordon to go against Loeb, which I'm really hoping for. Like, this is going to be the ultimate motivation for Gordon to finally defeat Loeb.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm really hoping for that. And again, maybe she gets reprogrammed for the better. It's a long shot, but we'll see. Otherwise, it's going to suck with him breaking up with Leslie for her.
I like how you said that. Just otherwise, it's gonna suck. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think this episode was it was fairly solid. I certainly don't think it was among the weaker episodes of the series. It's just a part one, so you can't really judge it until you've seen like the other half of the Peter Petrelli arc on this show.
It's funny. Bruce Timm said it best, saying like basically all the part twos are the best parts of the two-parters.
Well, I mean, that's where all the action ramps up.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the way they do movies now. It's like whenever you have a part one and a part two of a movie, it's always like part one is always like, okay, let's build it up, and then part two is like action. Now, I'm certainly hoping that we don't get that with Infinity Wars, and I'm very confident that we won't, considering Infinity Wars is just based off of one singular book, like, let's say Harry Potter or Hunger Games or Twilight was, but that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing.
I mean, you got like three episodes, off the top of my head, 3 episodes of Batman have really good first parts, like Two-Face, definitely.
There you go. There you go.
For me personally, I absolutely adore the first part of Demon's Quest. And,
well, I have not.
I know, but also there's like the Robin's Reckoning episode everyone talks about. The first part is better than the second part on that one.
Stop telling me all these things.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, does that wrap it up for your thoughts?
Again, just it was filler, but it was solid filler.
For sure. All right, so take us out.
So remember, kids, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again.
Danish.
Let me say it in Spanish. No.